Hello and welcome back, Guiding Star Astrology with Ksenia family, and welcome if you're new to the channel. Today we're going to go over Earth signs, so we're going to do Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I'm also going to pull oracle cards at the end of the reading, and sometimes I feel called to pull more cards for one sign than the other. For example, when I did the water readings or water element, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, I felt called to pull more cards, for Pisces. So that may happen, it may not happen. It doesn't mean that any sign is greater than the other. It's just how it comes through sometimes. So just a reminder, guys, that this is a general reading, so not everything will apply. So therefore, keep what does and discard what doesn't. If it doesn't or if it doesn't apply in your life, it's more than likely for someone else. Okay, so starting with, we're going to start with Taurus, and I will just do what I do before I shuffle the cards. I always say like a silent prayer to your angels, your ancestors, my ancestors, mother, father, um, and the angels, of course. We can never forget them. So I'm just going to shuffle these cards for Taurus and close my eyes and do my thing, okay? Thank you, Taurus. Thank you for your patience. All right, Taurus, let's see what we got for you. Again, this reading is good for wherever you're finding it. You're not what's the word I'm looking for? You're not confined to the time whenever this is posted. So I truly believe in destiny. I believe that you are meant to find this reading at the time you are finding it. I also would recommend looking up or listening to rather your sun, moon, rising, and perhaps Venus sign. Just to get kind of a fuller picture. If you know them, if you don't, you can always purchase a reading from Ksenia, and she can tell you what your astrological alignment is, and she's great at it. I mean, she is phenomenal astrologer. I've received many readings from her, and they've all been very accurate and true. So I highly recommend a reading by her. But if you do know your signs, I would recommend Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Not everyone does Venus, but it can't hurt, right? Just more information. Okay, so let me do this. What do we have for Taurus? The Taurus Collective. Our Taurus family members here. Okay. All right. Oh, speaking of destiny, this is beautiful. Okay, Taurus. So the first card that came out. Let me put these here. The first card blah, 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 that came out was the Strength card. So Strength is all. This is a Leo card. So maybe you have Leo somewhere in your alignment. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo. But anyhow, the Leo, the lion, shows up when strength is needed. So maybe perhaps you're going through something where you kind of need like fortitude and will. Leo also rules the will. So maybe there's something you're dealing with right now that is kind of either bringing out strength in you or something that requires strength. But this is a beautiful card. I love this card. I have Leo rising. I have a lot of Leo in my alignment personally, and I just love the Leonian energy. So if this is you, take it as it applies. Again, if it doesn't, then it's meant for someone else. But I would say that you're currently dealing with something that requires strength, requires will, like fortitude, will, strength. Something you might be going through. The next card alludes to some kind of battle. And again, whether it's with someone else, whether this is you or someone else. Also, Leo rules expression. So maybe there's something that you've been holding back on saying that you actually are going to come up with the courage, again, Leo, to kind of speak your truth. And that is Leo, the truth. Like Leo rules the truth and the law. So, yeah, so let's continue on the reading and see what else that comes up. So next we have the Seven of Wands. This is another fire card. Like wands are Leo Aries, Sagittarius, so maybe you have those in your alignment. But anyhow, wands also rule like energy, motivation, inspiration. Um, but the seven of wands is indicative of some kind of battle, something you're fighting against. You could be fighting against something, refusing to see the truth of something. Leo, the strength card, excuse me. But I wouldn't say that so much, actually. Let me rewind that. You could be resistant to something, okay? Like, because Leo rules the law, maybe you're having some trouble with the law. Maybe you've broken the rules in some way, whether it's at work, in a relationship, in a family dynamic. But there's some kind of upward heaval, upward battle that you're in the midst of. And I would say with the Strength card, you got a pretty good chance of winning this battle. And again, it's not about winning or losing. It's just about learning and acquiring wisdom. So everything we go through, I believe, is like a teacher for us. No matter how painful. Actually, if it's more painful, then that's the greater the lesson and the greater the wisdom. So in my belief system, that's what I believe. I mean, going through hard times stinks. Nobody likes them. However, if you've come to a point where you realize in hindsight that it actually helps make you better, it helps grow you, it helps grow us, right? So yeah, so there's some conflict or battle or something you're dealing with. Now, the next card would allude to a romantic relationship, the Lovers. So the Lovers is all about soulmate, love, soulmates, excuse me, love, and even if you're not together with the person, even if this is somebody who's still in the friend zone, but you kind of know inside of you, Taurus, that this is your soulmate, and maybe this is someone who's, pursuing you, and but you're conflicted in some way. So maybe this could be an argument. This could be like, does he love me? Is he true to me? Is he faithful? Questioning things like that. And you are developing the strength to speak out, speak up, like speak out about your feelings or what you're thinking, or asking questions. I always find it's best to approach a conflict, especially in romantic relationships, with questions rather than accusations. So that's a little practice of mine. I'm an Aries, so it's something I definitely had to grow into. It's not easy for us if you're an Aries out there. If you have Aries in your alignment anywhere, being a Taurus sun, or having Taurus in your moon or rising sign, Venus. So just take this as it applies, but this definitely has to do with a romantic relationship and dealing with someone who is your soulmate, okay? So let's keep moving forward. So the Five of Pentacles is the next card. I use the Fountain Tarot, so in this tarot deck, it's the Five of Coins, but this is the Five of Pentacles in typical tarot deck. So what the Five of Pentacles is indicating is some type of loss and disappointment. So because it has to do with Pentacles, Pentacles could be like self-worth, financial, work-related things. I'm trying to think what else. I said money, I said financial. So some kind of disappointment. Oh, also something you value, right? So Taurus is all about, it's ruled by Venus, if you guys didn't know that. Venus is all about the material world. It's all about money. It's all about material things. Taurus, you tend to value material things. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way you're built. It's your cosmic DNA, right? So perhaps you had like some kind of a loss financially or something you value. Maybe it's this relationship, but hold tight because not all is lost. Okay, I'm going to continue on with the rest of the cards. But yeah, so the Five of Pentacles is about a feeling of loss or regret. Maybe you said something with the Leo card here, said something that you regret, and this would be indicative of that. Okay, but as I said, let's keep holding on because there's hope here, okay? So the next card I'm pulling out is the Six of Wands. Again, more fire. So you definitely, probably more than likely have some fire somewhere in your alignment. But the wonderful news about the Six of Wands is that it's the victory card. So whatever you're going through, whatever you're dealing with a soulmate kind of thing now, or person rather. Now, again, this could be a friendship, a lover, a relationship, something that hasn't bloomed yet, but you know somewhere inside that this is your soulmate. Maybe you have a lot of conflict in a soulmate relationship. You know, that's not unheard of. It's very different from the. Let me get this back. It's very different from the word from the term twin flames, which I tend to shy away from, since like the idea behind a twin flame is that you have to torture each other in order to grow, and I don't think that that's right. I think that everything that we go through that doesn't work out in some way ends up working out because it grows us in some way. You know, we learn something from it. But I'm going to say that this, whatever this thing is that we're talking about here, you'll know for yourself. I would say it's going to be okay. I'm going to say that it's going to be successful. Excuse me. I can't wait to get these words out because it's such a positive message. So with this disappointment, in regards to some kind of soulmate relationship or soulmate connection, what have you. And listen, soulmates can be two women, two men. You know, it doesn't have to be male, female all the time. I have a couple of girlfriends who I knew in the past from my past lives, and they're my soulmates too. But the lovers are more indicative of a romantic love relationship. This is someone you love, someone that you want to be with, and you know you're hitting a bumpy road right now. You may have regrets and be disappointed about something. Maybe you value this person and they've decided to walk away for a bit. However, it's only momentarily, okay? Because the Six of Wands is saying they will be back. You will be successful. This will be a victory for you, okay, Taurus? So you just hang on in there. Keep on keeping on. Keep on fighting the good fight. You know, you have the strength and fortitude to see this through. Absolutely, 100%. You have a lot of fire energy, which is, again, you know, energy. It's motivation. It's intensity. It's passion. You know, that's another word that correlates with fire signs. So the last card I pull before we pull your oracle card is the Destiny card. It's the Wheel of Fortune. My goodness, Taurus, this is the perfect card to come out right now. Excuse me. Ooh. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Again, I'm just so excited to get this reading out because it's such a good read, and it's so positive, and listen, there are troubles in everything, right? Nothing is easy, and nothing easy is ever worth it. There's trouble in relationships. That's just a given. You know, no relationship is perfect. Now, I don't see any cards that are indicative of deception. So, but it's a different story. Like if your story is someone cheated on you and you're having conflict about it, you may want to rethink that relationship. You know, I don't see anything here. There are cards in the tarot that would imply deception and cheating, but none of them came out here. Just a little bit of conflict and victory and regret, or regret. Maybe the thing that you're learning to, or that you need to value, is yourself, and or your relationship. You know, if this is a romantic situation involved, you know, like you're in a relationship, your husband and wife, you're dating someone who you believe is your soulmate, and maybe you've even dreamt about being in a past life together. That's not unheard of. I've dreamt about many people that I know, and dreamt about where we were in another life. You know, many relationships, particularly with men. Romantic relationships. So anyhow, let's get to the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is the Destiny card. So this is destined. This was destined to happen. This is destiny for you. Again, whether it lasts, which I do see it lasting because of the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a victory card. So whatever it is that you're trying for, you know, something you love, something that you are, you know, you're hitting a little rough spot with right now, someone, something, you'll know, you know, apply it to how it fits for you. But destiny's involved here, which means that you are going to, if nothing else, walk away with wisdom, walk away with maybe knowing what you would like in your next relationship, if that applies. But I see this as working out. Whoever this involves, could be a family member, could be could be someone you love, essentially, someone that you've been with in a past life and that you've known in a past life, because that for me is the definition of a soulmate, right? But yeah, so this is going to work out, Taurus. So you just hang in there, you know, and listen, like I was saying earlier, you know, arguments happen, debates happen, problems happen, you know, bickering happens, static can happen between couples, but it doesn't mean it has to be over. No, because this is destiny and this is your soulmate, Taurus. So you just keep on in there. You know, like I said, there's a fine line between, you know, uh, being willing to work things out and being abused. So you know, I'm not recommending you stay if it's involving anything toxic. That's not what I'm saying here. But I'm saying that this has a pretty good shot at working out if you stick with it and you continue speaking your truth. You continue with fortitude. Activate your will. Again, Leo, the strength card implies will. But you have the strength, and this is destiny, Taurus, okay? So this is your person. I'm going to say that, okay? Now let's see what oracle card we have for you. Okay, so I am pulling from the, let's see here. I can't say enough about this deck, this oracle deck. So it's the Angels and Ancestors Oracle Card Guidebook by Kyle Gray. I absolutely love this deck. I love the shamanic feel of it. Like if you're an energy feeler, you'll understand what I'm saying. Or, you know, just by looking at the cover here. I love the Native American woman, the nature spirit of the animals, the jaguar, the owl, which symbolizes wisdom, the deer, which is meek and gentleness, and then I think that might be a crow. I'm not sure. You guys will tell me in the comments if I got that right or wrong. But anyhow, okay. And then I also want to read what this deck says, which I think, again, is so beautiful. And another reason why I felt drawn to it and why I wanted to read it for you or, you know, pull for you guys. Ooh, I did a lot of talking, so I need a sip. The deck, Mr. Kyle Gray, who created this deck, said, I set the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from this tool will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places. Oh, God, if that isn't beautiful, I don't know what is. All right, enough talking out of me. Let's get your oracle card so we can round up this reading and get you on your way to possibly listening to your other signs, okay? All right, so what do we have for Taurus here? Angels and spirits. Your angels and your spirits, my angels and my spirits, my ancestors, your ancestors, mother and father, God, if you believe that, or, you know, whichever deity you believe in and pray to, or believe in, rather. Let's see. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this absolutely applies to your reading. It's called Sky Father. Trust in the unknown. Okay, so we kind of got a little bit of insight into how this situation is going to turn out. It's going to be successful, and you will be victorious, Taurus. But this is also saying or guiding you towards being a more prayerful person. Like asking whatever deity you believe in. Maybe it's God, maybe it's love, maybe it's the universe, maybe it's Buddha, maybe it's the angels. You know, whoever that is. And again, I love the eagle, and that goes along with a Leo again. You know, like strong and brave and all the fire signs actually. So you did get a lot of fire cards in your reading. So perhaps again you have some element of fire in your alignment or many elements of fire in your alignment. But I just love this card, and I think that the man with the old, you know, or excuse me, the gray hair also represents wisdom, right? So this could be Zeus. Like if you're into Greek mythology, that very well could be Zeus for you, you know. But whoever you consider to be higher than you, higher than human beings in general. This is saying to trust, you know, being willing to trust in the unknown is so powerful, guys. I always like to, I'm a very dreamy kind of watery person. I have a lot of Pisces in my alignment mixed in with my sun and moon and Mercury. So what I like to do is I kind of like to visual aids help me. So, in other words, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. God, what is it? Braveheart is a good one. And then, God, the Kevin Costner movie, what is it? Dances with Wolves. So there's two scenes, well, one scene in each movie that I'll reference here. The Braveheart one is at the end when he is being castrated, and William Wallace is just like, you can do whatever you want to me. I love the feel of freedom, and I'm not going to be owned by anybody. And then in Dances with Wolves, there's an end scene where Kevin Costner's character is being he's got 1,000,000 bow and arrows being aimed towards him, and he's on a horse, and he just opens his arm and he runs towards the arrows, and he just is like, he's like back like this, like, it's whatever fate has for me, I trust, but I will not be afraid. And that's what I love most about those two stories. Being an Aries myself, an Aries warrior woman. Yeah, so this is just saying trust in the unknown. We don't have to know everything, guys. And I also, gosh, I'm like giving a lot of advice here. So take it if it feels right for you, disregard it if it doesn't. Another thing I like to say, I actually read this somewhere, that the antidote for anxiety is curiosity. When I read that, oh my God, did my world change? I'm keeping this up here just in case you guys are getting anything else from the reading while I'm speaking, or from this card rather. Gosh, how that didn't change my life, my world. So now I stay in the curious zone. Like, I wonder how this is going to turn out. I wonder what's going to happen next, and I don't have to know everything, and I'm okay with that. So anyway, Taurus, this is going to wrap up your reading. I hope that you receive the answers that you were seeking by seeking out this reading at this time, or whenever you're finding it. Well, that kind of doesn't make sense. Whenever you're finding it is whenever you're finding it, right? So anyway, you get the gist. I just hope that this has brought you some message of confirmation. I hope it validates you. I hope it inspires you. I hope it strengthens you to keep on keeping on, and whatever you're doing is the right thing, and that things are going to work out. Okay, Taurus, it's been an honor reading for you, and God bless you. Until next time. Bye. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Guiding Star Astrology with Ksenia. I'm Apryl, your resident tarot card reader, and I am doing Tarotscopes for whenever you're finding it. Time is an illusion in my world, so I believe that whenever you come across a reading, it was meant for you. So the only readings that will have like time frames are like if we do, or when we do rather, moon cycle readings, like or retrograde readings or something like that. So that'll be the only time that I would think that time is an influencer in that regard. Yes, so Capricorn, I like to start the readings by saying this is a general reading, so a lot of people will be listening. Not everything will resonate. If it does, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Just keep what fits and disregard what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, more than likely it's for another person, okay? So I'm going to do what I do, shuffle the cards, close my eyes, and pray, or say a prayer rather, for your angels, my angels, your ancestors, my ancestors, mother, father, if that's something you believe in. If you want to say a little prayer along with me to whatever deity you kind of believe is higher than you, please feel free to do that. That is more than welcomed, okay? All right, Capricorn, so let's get your reading started, okay? Because I'm very excited. Okay. Oh, and I also will be pulling an oracle card for you after the reading, after we do the tarot reading, from a very, very, very beautiful and sacred oracle deck, okay? I can't wait to introduce you to it. Maybe you know about it already. If so, that's great. So I'm going to close my eyes and do my thing, okay? Your angels, my angels. If I said that already, please forgive me. I work with the angels very closely, and they mean a lot, and maybe they do to you as well. Hopefully they do. Okay, so let's get your reading started. What do we have for Capricorn? Okay, Capricorn. So the first card that came out for you is the Page of Pentacles. So I like to say I use the Fountain Tarot, and in the Fountain Tarot, pentacles are called coins. So please don't be distracted by the fact that it says coins and not pentacles. So funny enough, pentacles are earth signs, right? And this is an earth reading. You're Capricorn, you're an earth sign. So the Page of Pentacles, now pages are messengers, okay? So some message of, and pentacles represent many things. Some of those things being stability, finances, home, self-worth, self-value, something you value. And because pages are younger, this could be someone bring someone younger, maybe a child, maybe someone you're dealing with who's a younger. And it doesn't have to be. This looks like a young girl, but the cards aren't gender specific, so it doesn't have to be a boy or girl. It doesn't have to be a girl. It could be a boy too, or a man. But just a more youthful energy, more immature energy. Again, I don't know if I said this already. Please forgive me if I have. Maybe a child, your child, but some message of either appreciation or some good news about finances, or just a message of something stable. So let's say you're looking for a home. Okay, this is just an example. Or you're looking for an apartment because it's just a page. You're looking for an apartment or something of value, something that you need, for stability and sustainability. So if this is a home you're looking for, you're going to hear good news about it. If this is a job promotion, let's say, because pentacles have to do with career and money and finances, salary, things like that, you'll be receiving a message from a younger person or a more youthful energy. Maybe, if you're in a position where your supervisor, which I've heard happens fairly often, is younger than you, you'll be receiving a message from them. If this is a child or someone you're dealing with who's of a more youthful nature, you're going to receive some message of, maybe that somebody younger than you values you. Like I have a woman who's a mentor. She's 20 years older than me, and I am always letting her know how much I appreciate her and how much value she's brought to my life and how much I love her and appreciate her. Maybe that's going to be the same thing for you. Or maybe this is a message about your finances, right? So maybe good news is coming, or no, well, yeah, news is coming in, a message is coming in about your finances, okay? So take this as it applies. Let me just try to think about pentacles. Groundedness, stability, home, housing, value, self-worth. Yeah, so things like that, things of that nature. But a message is coming because pages represent messengers, okay? So we'll continue on with the reading. The next card is the moon. So the moon card represents you being like if you're a very intuitive person, which Capricorns typically are. And I notice, like, for Capricorns, it's more like gut instinct, right? It's more of your gut. You get gut instincts, like a good or bad feeling. My mother's a Capricorn. I've known her whole life. She's raised me for the last 44 years. So most of the things she says is from her gut, and she's usually right. However, you're a little blocked right now. Things are a mystery. You might be confused. This is also the card of confusion. You might be dealing with illusions that need to be shattered. Maybe you're not seeing someone in a realistic sense, in a realistic way, and that illusion for you must be shattered. You must start seeing reality for how it is. There's also a saying, someone sees the world and people through rose-colored glasses, and that's not always the case. We see what we want to see sometimes. But yeah, so you're blocked in some sense, like your gut or your intuition is kind of blocked, and this is also, you're confused about something, and maybe this message that's coming to you will only add to your confusion, right? So, it's kind of like, things aren't set in stone right now. It's nothing's set in stone, and you are blocked. This is also the card of being blocked. Overthinking can block us. Like the brain can block intuition because there's a flow that comes from our higher selves to our brain, which is the conduit for intuition, right? And messages from above. So just right now, Capricorn, you're just a little blocked and a little lost here, okay? So let's continue on with the reading and see if we can find out why. Okay, so the next card is the Seven of Swords. So this card is the card of, if it's a romantic relationship we're dealing with, this card could be indicative of someone who's cheated on you. If that's the case, you already know it by the time you're finding this reading and listening to it. This is either someone has cheated, unfortunately, which if that's the case, I'm so sorry. There's never a good enough excuse for that. Never. And you don't deserve it. No one deserves that. But it also could be self-deception. So again, here we go with the Moon card that has to deal with illusions, right? So in this card, you see that the hand is actually reaching for the sword, so it knows that the swords hurt, but it's grabbing them anyway. So this could be you knowing that you're involved with something that might not be so good for you, whether it's a career, a business deal, a relationship. So something you probably know, Capricorn. I know that you know, I'm sure that you know that something just isn't good for you, but you're holding on to it anyway, okay? And you get to decide how long, how short. You get to decide how long you hang on to this, okay? But just know that there are always ways out of everything, okay? So maybe you have family you can speak to, friends. My family, my autonomous family that I was born into is, they're always the last people I reach out to. My family is my spiritual family, which are my friends. And, hopefully you have a group like that too. If not, you can reach out in the comments and ask me to message you, and I will absolutely reach out to you and try to be there for you as best I can in any way that I can, okay? So I don't say that lightly. I honestly do reply to every single email I get, and then stay in touch with others. So, if you need anything, you just let me know in the comments, provide your email address, and I will probably, more than likely, I have an Instagram, a Guiding Star Astrology Instagram page. So it's a business page, so you can always contact me on there. I will ask Ksenia to post that as well, okay? All right, guys, so let's continue on. But this, just actually to sum this up, this is about someone who's cheated, and if that's the case, you already know about it. This could also be the card of self-deception. You are staying in something that's hurting you, and you're perfectly aware of it because the hand is consciously reaching for them swords and holding them. So if that's the case, show yourself some self-love, Capricorn. Do what's best for you. And if you have children, listen, I always say, I don't have children, so I had to learn to love myself differently. But if you do have children, love yourself as you love your children. Do for them that you would do for yourself, that you would do for them if you found out that they were kind of holding on to something that wasn't good for them or wasn't healthy or involved cheating or lies or deception or betrayal. Try to put yourself in a position where you would take the advice that you would offer your child or someone you loved, okay? Someone you loved in general. All right, Capricorn, now we're ready to move on. Okay, so the next card is the Tower. So the Tower means that something has come crashing down. It could be a relationship, it could be a mindset, it could be this, this reality that has hit you, and it's not a pleasant feeling. However, the Tower is not the end of the road. The Tower for me represents, a kind of phoenix moment, a phoenix rising moment. Something new will come from the burned ashes, and that's always the case. So, maybe you guys know that. Maybe this is the first time hearing this, but things have to break down to break through, okay? And the old has to come crashing down so that way the new can build itself, right? So that way the new can reveal itself. This could be the ending of a relationship due to this deception here, or it could be the end of you kind of believing everything that your mind wants to believe. That's self-awareness is so powerful, and knowing our weaknesses and our strengths, and knowing, I'm a very dreamy Pisces person. I'm an Aries sun, but I have a lot of Pisces woven into my alignment. And believe me, in my younger years, there wasn't anything you couldn't tell me that my mind imagined that wasn't true. So this is actually a helpful card. It doesn't feel good. It never feels good. Growth never feels good, but I promise you it's worth it, okay? So whatever's come crashing down, whether it be an idea, a relationship, a job, anything, it's meant for good, okay? It's meant to teach you something, and this will grow you, Capricorn. And listen, you're no stranger to hard work. Capricorn is the sign of the worker bee, the manager, the tenacity, fortitude. Again, I was raised by a Capricorn mother. She worked day and night, and she didn't have it easy, but she still provided for us. So you guys are endowed with natural, incredible strength. So whatever this is going on, you have it. You can get through this. You have the strength to get through it. You're built that way. It's your cosmic DNA. You're built that way to get through it, and you will. And the best part is, and forgive me if I'm saying this too soon, if you're out there suffering, the best part is that you will learn and grow from this. Okay, so again, that tower moment, if you're familiar with Hinduism, is like the Shiva, the deity of destruction, which is frowned upon a lot. But when you become familiar with things breaking down, so that way better things can be built, whether it's in yourself, a job, a relationship, some idea or belief system you have, you always realize in hindsight that you were better for the experience than not having had it. Okay, so that's my little spiel. I'll finish up now. So the one of the last cards, because we still have the bottom of the deck energy, is the Knight of Pentacles. Again, here we have Pentacles. So if this isn't a relationship, it could be someone or someone you value. So it could be a relationship. I'm going to say that it probably is, given the last card here. Oh, the card that remains to be seen and interpreted. But the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles also, just a flash light bulb moment. Pentacles also represent something that's slowly building. It's very methodical. It's very well thought out. So this could be something that you are taking your time with. Again, apply it to how it fits. Relationship, career, home. Maybe a new apartment. Maybe pentacles have to do with the material world. So maybe you're furnishing a new place, or buying something of value. So again, the Knight of Pentacles is about something that's slow moving and slow building. This is something. If this is a relationship, and if you guys are going through hard times, it needs time. It's going to take time to get better. And I see this getting better, whatever the situation is. Now, obviously, I'm not advising you, like, if someone's a habitual cheater or habitually betraying you, that's not something I'm endorsing here. What I am endorsing is that if something can be salvaged by the truth and going through the healing process slowly, anew can be built. The tower. The tower is all about things breaking down to break through, to build anew. So if this is a relationship reading, guys, I'm going to say that this is necessary. You have to go through this in order for it to get better. If it's going to get better, and I do see it getting better. So let's move on to the last card, and then we'll read from the Oracle deck. So the last card we have here is the King of Cups. So cups are all about emotions, love, hello, caring. So, so just going back to treating yourself as you would your child if you are a parent. The King of Cups would imply to do that. Like, this is the advice card of the reading. I kind of always know which card is the advice card based on how the reading goes. So the King of Cups is basically saying, showing yourself more love. Now, this could be a partner, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a male. The cards aren't gender specific. So maybe, going through this illusory time, facing reality, things being broken down so that they can be built anew, taking time. It's going to take time. But, this could be your person. This could be you. This is either self-love or someone growing in love, and taking its time. But this is an assurity that love is happening, and love will come. And if this is a relationship, I see this as the King of Cups because it's a king. You know, that's more. It's not a knight. It's not a knight like this. It's not a page. It's a king. So you know, the end result will be love, whether it's towards yourself, whether it's with a person. You know, if you guys can get through this, again, if it's not something that's happening constantly and you're not involved in something toxic. I do believe in you know, breakups to makeups, more or less, and the outcome will be more love. So, you know, I had, for me, sharing, imparting this to you, I had a relationship where, you know, me and the guy kind of weren't really hitting it off, but you know, he was a good guy, and so I said when I broke it off, I'm like, you know, listen, when things settle down for me, you know, do you mind if I reach back out to you? And he was like, no, you know, I would actually love that. So when I did reach back out, it was still a little rough, shaky start. No deception involved, you know, just a difference in personalities. However, I stuck it out. I got through the bickering, which was a part of it. I got through the not liking his personality. I got through it, and now we're at a place where it's really amazing, and I'm so much better for the experience. But we had to break up. I had to end it, and then come back for a new, right? Um, and you know, so it's just take that story if it applies. I like to kind of share and give advice. It's just in my nature to do that. So yeah, so this was hopefully this this reading resonated with you, and you know, again, if parts of it didn't, then those are just meant for other people watching and listening. Okay, Capricorn, so let's move on to your oracle cards here, and let's see what we got. So I'm using, actually, let me not forget, I'm pulling from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle card deck created by Kyle Gray. And I explained in other readings, the reason why I love these cards so much is because they just feel so sacred and shamanic. And speaking of Capricorn, all of the Capricorn people that I know have like this shamanic energy attached to them. I don't know if you feel that way about yourself. If you do, please let me know in the comments. I'd be so interested in hearing that. You know, because you're an earth sign, you're like associated with nature. And I just love this nature shamanic woman sitting here with all the animals, the owl representing wisdom, the panther representing like strength and strength and you know, like strength. That's all I got. And then there's a crow, a raven, which is a messenger. You know, ravens are messengers. And then the meek and gentle deer. I just love this. I love this oracle deck. And further, another reason I love it is I will read to you what the creator Kyle Gray wrote in his little thing here. It says, I set the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from this tool will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places. And for me, our individual growth is the growth of the world. It helps the world. It helps our fellow human beings evolve. And that's what our angels and guides are here for, to help us evolve. Our angels, our ancestors, you know, deceased loved ones who come back and choose to guide us through the rest of our lives. They're helping us evolve, and for all beings, you know, and yeah, for me, all is one, and I just absolutely love this message. Okay, so let me stop talking, and we'll get to your oracle card message. Forgive me, Capricorn. Sometimes I can go on and on. I just love what I do, and I love helping others, and I want to give as much information as possible. So hopefully you're not irritated and you just feel grateful. Okay, so let's see. One more shuffle. Okay. Oh, God, look at this. This is so perfect. If that isn't you, Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. So I mean, this really needs no interpretation. This is, if anything, is a Capricorn card. This could also be a Taurus card as well, given the green and the emerald. Emerald is Taurus's birthstone, so maybe you're a Capricorn who has Taurus somewhere else in your alignment. Anyhow, I would interpret this card as it's an angel, first of all. The green represents healing, and that would apply to the reading actually. So I didn't feel that the relationship that you're in or whatever happened was necessarily a deal breaker. If anything, I found it to be, a strengthening reading. Like if you did have a falling out with someone for some other reason, other than, um, relationship, uh, like differences or personality. Um, yeah, so yeah. Sorry guys, I'm getting so many messages in. It's hard to stay focused sometimes. But so anyway, back to the card. So the green represents healing, and again, going back to the reading, just to sum it up, I didn't see anything that was a deal breaker. I saw growth and healing, and coming out stronger. To sum it up, and so yeah, so it's definitely an angel. The gray hair on the man represents wisdom, right? So we discussed that. We discussed that no happenings happen for just no reason at all. I truly believe that, hard times are inevitable, one, and two, grow us, right? So we grow in some way, and sometimes we realize it right away, and sometimes it's in hindsight, right? So, and I love the little pendulum, yeah, the gemstone on the third eye. So that again, we discussed intuition, we discussed gut instincts, which are tied into the intuition. We talked about the overthinking, not blocking the brain. Um, so that way the messages can come through from your higher self, and stay rooted and grounded. Also, this brings to mind if you have a meditation practice, right? So you maybe are a meditator, or you like to go out and walk barefoot in nature, right? So that would be another way of grounding. It's called grounding. It's kind of new and things like that, or newer to me. I'm just used to meditating, but sometimes I like to go out barefoot and just walk on clean cut grass, or grass period, or the ground. And yeah, so, and this also, let me see what's in that net. Yeah, it looks like he's capturing something, like he's captured something. So, I just love this reading and see how it came all together for you guys. So, to sum it up, simply, you're going through something you value, something you love has been shattered, some kind of illusion. You're blocked, but this card is saying that if you meditate, essentially, that you will be able to unblock yourself. Silencing the mind, cutting out the mind, the brain, silencing the brain will be of great help to you. And if you have a meditation practice, this is, kind of guiding you towards starting your meditation practice. If you're new to meditation, there's things on YouTube like meditation for beginners. I always like to say there's no way to teach meditation. You're basically just sitting in quiet and observing, the thoughts, and just waiting for them to cease. And they will. It's the constantly like feeding into our thoughts that keeps perpetuating them. But if you just kind of sit and close your eyes and allow the thoughts to go by like clouds, you'll be amazed at how quickly they will leave you. Okay, Capricorn, so that seems to be all we have for you today. It was an honor reading for you, honestly. I pray that you received some kind of validation or received what you needed to hear. And I just want to reiterate again, don't try to fit what doesn't fit. If something in the reading didn't fit, then that's okay. It's just meant for another person. But it has been an honor reading for you. And so we'll end here. God bless you. Until next time, Capricorn. Virgo, welcome back, Virgo. Welcome back to Guiding Star Astrology with Ksenia. This is April. I'm your resident tarot card reader, and this is your Tarotscope for whenever you're finding the reading. Yeah, so I've been doing earth signs as of late, and I'm seeing like a little bit of a tie in you guys. by elements. You know, it's kind of like an amazing thing to see. But I want to just I'm so curious. The point of me mentioning that is I'm so curious to see what your reading is going to bring forth today. To see like maybe if there's like a tie in all three, like earth signs: Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to do what I do to hopefully get you the most out of the reading. And excuse me, I'm just adjusting my screen here. And just a little disclaimer, like this is a general reading, so a lot of people will be watching. You know, keep what fits and discard what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, more than likely it's for someone else. I also like to recommend you listen to your sun, moon, and rising signs. So if you know them, you know, great, you know, you can listen to them. Venus also, if you want to just get a fuller picture. But that's kind of why I pull the oracle cards, to just kind of sum up the reading and get as much information as we can. More information, the better. And yeah, so you know, again, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. Yeah. So okay, let's get started, Virgo. I'm gonna do my thing, and thank you for your patience with my little opening spiel. What do we have for the universe? Ooh, as I was shuffling the cards, I kind of got like this wave of dizziness. So maybe you're not feeling well, or maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you need to eat something, Virgo. If that applies, you know, please, you know, eat if you need to. Nice. Okay. All right, Virgo. So the first card we have here is the Nine of Pentacles. So I use the Fountain Tarot, and in the Fountain Tarot deck particularly, they use the term coins rather than pentacles. But I always say pentacles because that's you know, it's common basic knowledge for the suit, you know, the suit of pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is one an earth sign. It represents Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Pentacles have to do with self-worth, money, career, things we value, the material world, um, our career. What else? Let's see. Yeah, financial stability, sustainability. You know, something we're building. And pentacles tend to be a slower energy, so it's like happening over time. So the wonderful thing about the Nine of Pentacles is that something that you're trying to build, whether it be a home, a relationship, maybe you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're creating your own business or building your own business. Whatever's happening is happening slowly, but slow and steady. Because the 9 is close to the 10, which is, you know, total fulfillment, like you've reached your goal or something. Oh, and that's another thing Pentacles represents. It's like it represents goals. So, you know, and there's a woman on this card, but the cards aren't gender specific. So whether you're male or female, should apply to you in some form, way, shape, or form. Excuse me. So yeah, so something you're building, something. It could be like maybe you're starting to save. Maybe you're entering the stock market. You know, something that's building monetarily, or something of value or worth. This could be self-worth. You know, maybe you're growing in self-worth. Yeah, so you know, take it as it applies. I'm trying to think of what else that are associated with pentacles: self-worth, things of value, the material world. So this could be again a savings, something you're building or saving for, right? But you're almost there because again, the only higher card than this in the numbers, in the number cards, is the 10. So the 10 is like the goal has been reached, right? So you're almost there, Virgo. Whatever this is, you're almost there, and whatever this is, you will know by the time you're finding this reading. You'll already know what this card represents for you, okay? So let's just keep going forward. Okay, so Pentacles could also be, you're building a relationship with someone, because the next card is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups, again, it's not gender specific, so take it how it, resonates for you. Resonates, excuse me. I've had people put in the comments that I say like resignates and not emphasize the proper pronunciation, which is resonate. So I use words like if it fits, just to avoid confusing anyone for all our grammar people out there. I personally am one of those people, so I get it. I don't take offense to it. I totally get it. I'm working on it. So if it resonates, okay? So the King of Cups is an energy of love. Cups are emotions. It's love. Maybe this thing is building slowly with someone you love, something you love. Again, it could be a business. It could be a person. It could be a career that you love. Maybe you're getting a promotion that you've been waiting for, that you've been working towards very slowly, and maybe it's happened, because the King of Cups is like a happy card, it's like a good news card as well. So take this as it applies. If this is a relationship, I see it as very loving and fulfilling, and whether you're loving on someone or they're loving on you. This is just a really, really good card. And so take it as it applies, okay? So we're moving on to the next card, which is the Fool. The Fool is Aries energy. Aries, I know it's associated with Uranus and Aquarius, but I mean, the Fool is about, taking a chance with something. So that would apply, if this is a love reading, you've been building this, right? You've been building this connection, and you're ready to take the leap. The leap could be marriage. You could be getting ready to propose, or you're getting ready to move in with someone. The Fool is all about a new beginning and taking a chance blindly, right? The Fool doesn't care about the consequences. Not that they'll be negative, not saying that, but the Fool is just like taking a chance. He's taking a risk, and he's believing that he will, when he or she goes off the cliff, metaphorically speaking, that there will be a net, safety net waiting for them. Now, Virgos aren't necessarily huge risk takers. Let's be honest. My grandmother was a Virgo. I was raised by her, in part. So Virgos aren't necessarily huge risk takers. It would depend on like other signs you have in your alignment, honestly. But let's say you have an Aries moon. You're definitely gonna, be brave enough to say, you know what? I don't care what happens. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what happens. Despite the consequences, or whatever the consequences, it could work. It could not work, but I'm not going to let the fear of it not working hold me back. That's another message the Fool brings. And if this is in regards to, let's say, what do we say? Business, savings, stock market. You could be taking a chance on the stock market, So just take this as it applies. It could be taking a chance on a relationship, taking a chance on, entrepreneurship, creating a business. If this is something you want to do for yourself, the Fool is indicating, take the chance, or maybe you are taking a chance, and this is just picking up on your energy at the moment, okay? So there's the Fool card, as you can see, taking a leap. All right, so moving along, Virgo, we have the Emperor, which is, funny enough, Aries energy. The Emperor is all about bold and courageous. That's the energy associated with the Emperor. The Emperor also is very independent, which Virgos are. Virgos are independent, I would say, for the most part. Very mercurial, in your thoughts. A lot, prone to nervousness, prone to perfectionism, which is not realistic, Virgo, and you probably know this about yourself already. Perfection is, in my book, in my version of things, is just doing the best you can and nothing less. And when you've done all that you can, if it still doesn't work out, then it wasn't meant for you. Hopefully this wasn't too big of a risk to where you've hit a major breakdown of something. I don't see that being foretold here. I think this is a very positive reading for you, Virgo. And so moving going back to the Emperor energy, excuse me. So this is entrepreneurship, you know, a leader, boldness, courage, you know, taking a risk. The Fool, again, I associate the Fool card with Aries. I think most tarot readers do, even though it's represented by Aquarius and the planet Uranus. But for me, it's an Aries card because Aries are, again, bold, courageous, daredevils. They're not afraid to take chances, prone to impulsiveness. But if you're an evolved Aries, you kind of know that about yourself, and you've kind of worked on it, and you take calculated risks, right? So, okay, let's continue on. So we have the Queen of Swords. So Swords energy are the mind, right? So the Queen of Swords is more of a cooler energy. Like if you're male or female, you're not necessarily the King of Cups, which is like very, very emotional person, lovey-dovey. You're more cool and practical about love, you know? But the Queen of Swords is implying either you or someone you're dealing with is kind of giving you off a cool energy. This could be, if this is a partnership, maybe, you know, one of you is the loves affection and loves love and is not afraid of speaking your love for the other person, you know, expressing your love, showing your love, while the other of you could be like more stoic and cool, detached in love. And if this is a business venture reading or a stock market reading or building up your savings or, you know, a self-worth reading, you're taking a more, excuse me, you're taking a more practical approach to it. You know, you're not in your emotions. You're using more logic. That's what the Queen of Swords is. And if this is a love reading, then it's either you yourself or you're dealing with someone who's a little bit more cool and detached, and that you are the King of Cups energy, which is like lovey-dovey, you know, not afraid of expressing your love, etc. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, so whatever venture this is, you know, again, you'll know what it is. I can only read the cards as they're coming out. Whatever venture this is, you're very sure. Number one, you have the courage. You're not afraid to take a chance. You're building slowly, which is the best way. You know, anything that's built too quickly, you know, doesn't always last. You know, if you think back in your life, if you got into a relationship too quickly, you know, more times than not saying it's every time, but more times than not, it kind of didn't work out. Or if you've gotten into something impulsively, you know, more times it didn't work out. Or if you've been too hungry for it, you know, if this is a money financial reading, if you've been too hungry, you know, that's more than likely not worked out for you. So the Queen of Swords is all about you're taking a more logical approach to whatever this is, essentially, and take it where it applies. So the last card I find very interesting in this reading, it's the Chariot, which is Cancer. So maybe you're dealing with a Cancer, you have Cancer somewhere in your energy, in your astrological alignment. What I find the most interesting is that if this is a relationship reading, I have found that Virgo Cancer relationships work out. It just works. My grandfather was a Cancer, my grandmother was a Virgo. They were married for 73 years, which is like unheard of these days. And then they ended up passing away a year from each other on the exact same date that my grandmother passed away. My grandfather died a year later. And that to me symbolizes true love, you know. And, you know, there's a whole bunch of Virgo Cancer relationships I can name, but I won't. The most famous one, though, is Pink and Carrie Hart. So if you know anything about their story, excuse me, I think Pink summed it up once when she said, love is coming back to the table again and again. And I find that Virgo and Cancers kind of have that dynamic just naturally between them. Listen, it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's an easy relationship. I'm just saying that they have a tendency to work out. But if this is not a relationship reading, if you're not dealing with a Cancer, if you don't have Cancer in your alignment, this is about something coming towards you. So maybe this thing that you've been trying to build, that you've taken a chance on, that you've put your heart into it with the King of Cups, that you've taken a chance on, that you've kind of been bold enough to start it, that you've kind of had a more logical approach to it, the reward is coming. It's coming towards you. So all of your hard work, whatever this is, is coming towards you. Like you will see your dream come true, or your what you've been working hard on come to fruition. Okay, so whatever this is, it's coming towards you. Okay, Virgo. So I want to do a once over to just see if there's any other messages that come through that I've missed here. Let me see. Yeah. So basically, what I said, something you're building or working towards. You're putting your heart into it. You love it. It's something you love. You're taking a chance. You're bold enough to do it. You're taking a more logical approach than a more emotional one. Now, Cancer is a water sign, so there we go with emotions again. So maybe you're kind of like, maybe this process has kind of softened you a bit, that kind of, um, you've kind of, maybe the bold step you're taking is like dealing, feeling more with your heart and less in your head, Virgo, because, Virgos are prone to overthink. So maybe that's what this message is. I'm glad I did this because I felt like there was something else that wanted to come out or reveal itself. So maybe this is all about, delving deeper into your heart, Virgo, and not being so logical about things. I mean, logic is necessary. The heart's necessary, I think the perfect balance is like the heart and the mind when you've kind of got, you're using both in balance, like the infinity sign. Because both are necessary. If you go back to the Matrix movies, I don't know if you're a Matrix fan, but we had the architect and then we had the oracle. So for me, that's the logic, that's needed to like design things, and then you have the oracle, the more feeler type of person. So both are kind of necessary to create worlds and life and all of that. But yeah, so again, to sum this up before we get to your oracle card, whatever you have been working towards or putting your heart into, you took a chance on something with a more logical approach, it's coming towards you. Like you will see it come to fruition. Okay, Virgo? So, okay, let's get to your oracle card. So the deck I'm using today is one of my favorites. It's called the Angels and Ancestors Oracle Card by Kyle Gray. I love the imagery because it just feels so shamanic and so earthy. And Virgo, you're an earth sign. I love the nature spirit aspect of it. I love the owl, which is wisdom. It symbolizes wisdom. And then you have the crow or the raven. I'm not sure which one it is. More than likely, it's probably a raven, right, guys? Because ravens are just so ancient and deliver. They would deliver messages in like the Renaissance era or the other, the Dark Ages or what have you. And then you have the jaguar there, or cougar. I can't really decipher, but I love the nature spirit woman and the little deer that she's holding, which represents like meekness and gentleness. And Virgo, you guys are like you have I've noticed, I've observed, because I know a lot of Virgos, that you have like this really tough exterior, but inside, like you're like the deer. There's a very meek, sensitive character within, and that's kind of a lot of Virgos I know also have like a tough exterior because they're trying to protect that sensitivity that you have within you, right? So I also want to read you another something that the creator wrote, which is something so beautiful in my mind, and maybe this will be beautiful for you as well. And let's not forget that Virgo is the sign of the healer, right? It's the sign of service. Maybe you're a nurse, that's Virgo rules nurses. Anything that's a part of the healing genre. You could be a Reiki master. You could be into, massage. Anything that kind of is service oriented and healing. It represents Virgo. And I just love what he wrote. He said, I sent the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from this tool will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places. And as I said in the Capricorn's reading at the end, when I read their oracle card, listen, everything we go through is for each other, right? So it's like that's what our angels and ancestors and guides are here for. They're here to guide us and grab us by the hand and say, I'm going to help you grow, and you're going to grow. Sometimes it's, whether we like it or not, but other times it's like I'm going to be here for you. I want to help you. And I just find that so beautiful. And what one of us learns, we all learn, right? The wisdom, the owl, we can impart wisdom to others. And what greater gift is there? I have a woman who is a blessing and a mentor for me. I didn't have the best parents, growing up, but man, I sure did. I was blessed with a great mentor as a woman who was like a motherly figure, who is like a motherly figure for me. 23 years now. I've learned so much from her, and what I learned from her, I share with as many people as I can, because we all need it, right? All right, guys. So enough out of me. Let's get to your oracle card reading. My apologies if I've gone on for too long. I have to say that I really love what I do, and I love helping others and reaching out to others. Gosh, in the Capricorn reading, it looked as though they were having a really hard time. So I offered to, I'll put my contact information in the description here on YouTube. And I offered, like, if they needed to talk to somebody, to just reach out to me, because I do, honestly, I will reply to anybody who reaches out. So I also created a Guiding Star Instagram page, which should be posted as well. So feel free to follow me if you're on Instagram. And feel free to message me, with comments. If you want something more personal, you can message me on Instagram. If it's a more general comment, you can just put it in the comments, and I typically will reply to YouTube comments as well. All right, enough out of me. Now we're getting down to it. So what card will kind of sum up this reading for you? All right, let's see. What do you have for Virgo? Ancestors and angels. Oh, wow. Okay. Beautiful. The Sage. Be devoted and committed. So, also, this is taking me back to the Queen of Swords card that we pulled. The Queen of Swords, swords in general are more detached, cool energy. Virgo's an earth sign, so you're very practical. You're not given to like warm, fuzzy feelings. If you are, my apologies, but typically the sign is not like that. It's very practical and mercurial. But if there are exceptions to every rule, so take what applies. You know yourself better than I do. Take what applies and discard what doesn't. But anyhow, so the Sage, talking about knowledge for ourselves to help others. The Sage is basically something like, it's like a scribe. It's a wisdom person. It's a person who's cultivated wisdom and enlightenment. In the Buddhist texts, or the Hinduism, Christ consciousness is the Christian form of enlightenment. That's the term, like one with God, oneness. Ultimate God, oneness. So this is kind of saying he's also writing down something, like writing down on a paper pamphlet or a paper, you get the gist. He's writing something down, and I believe he's writing something down to impart some kind of wisdom to future generations to come, or anybody that feels called to his writings or teachings. So this could be an avenue for you, Virgo. Maybe what you're trying to build is, maybe you're a writer, that could be possible too, because the Sage is writing, and sages write. Maybe you're someone who has a lot of wisdom to impart. Maybe you're a little older than the rest of the people around you, and you just want to help them. You want to help them heal through writing, right? So Mercury, which is Virgo is ruled by, is all about writing, communication. So maybe what you're trying to build has something to do with helping the masses, helping others, helping a small group of people. Maybe you're a teacher. You could be a teacher trying to impart some kind of wisdom or knowledge to others. Okay, so take this card as it applies. I love the Sage card. I love sages. They're just so wise, and they have much to impart. And if you're like me, you love to accumulate knowledge and wisdom. Okay, all right, Virgo, we're going to end it here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for bearing with me. I know sometimes I can be long-winded. It's been an honor reading for you. I hope and pray that you received validation, that you received what you need to hear, confirmation even. And it's been an honor again. And until next time, God bless you.